Very good evening to all the next senior scholars. I hope all of your exams are over now and you are ready for the next phase of your life. Today we have two experts here from FRR Forex, Dave Mehta and Clinton De Silva. We have been working with FRR Forex for the last 2-3 years, and they have been supporting many students with remittances and Forex related um, things. Uh, they are one of the best, they provide the best services in the industry. And since you are all going to need um, their services, I would recommend you to connect with them and learn from them about the challenges or the mistakes that you could make while making the remittances. So, thank you, Dave and Clinton, for agreeing to do this session for the next genius scholars. We are very grateful for your presence. Thank you for taking our time out to do this session. And I'm sure all these students would learn a lot and they would take back their learnings um, and use those learnings while they are doing the remittances. So, very quickly, let me pass it on to you and feel free to take it forward. Students, in the next 20 to 30 minutes, you are going to learn about remittances and the mistakes that you should prevent, you should avoid while doing your remittances and transfers. Make sure you have a notebook and a pen. And if your parents are around, please invite them and get them to sit with you because they are the ones who are going to need more information from this. They are the ones who usually deal with the money. So please get them to sit with you so that they can also listen to this very important session. Over to you, Dev. Thank you so much for joining this call.
Thank you, Devesh, and thank you, Rudra. And good evening, everyone. And thanks a lot for taking the time out to attend our session. Also, first of all, many congratulations to all of you. I'm sure you all have got stellar admissions. And I hope you guys are happy and excited about where you are about to go and the journey that you are about to begin. I'm sure there is a lot of anxiety uh, around multiple things that you may have today or going forward over the next few months. But one of them, or rather a few of them, is something that we can most definitely take care of. So, like Devesh mentioned, I'm Dev Mehta and I run my family business, which is FRR Forex. I also have on the line with me my colleague, Clinton, and he will be kind of in touch, or you should be in touch with him for all things remittance and any other services that you may want to avail. So quickly, we've been in the business since 1983. Currently it's me and me and my father who run the company. We still continue to own and run the business that my grandfather had acquired in 1983, where we are brokers between bank treasury departments that want to trade USD INR swaps. Come liberalization in 92, my dad applied for what we call as a money changing license, and he owned and ran a company called LKP Forex up until 2007, 2008, when he's before he successfully sold it to Thomas Cook India. Post which, in July 2010, we started again under the name of FRR Forex. And we also have two other sister concerns, which is FRR Shares, where we are SEBI authorized brokers in the in the equity markets, and FRR Immigration, where we specialize in immigration by investment. So this is actually these are other two sister concerns that we have along with FRR Forex. But let's understand first and the most important, the first and the most important mistake that we don't want you to make is trusting banks blindly, right, when it comes to all your foreign exchange requirements. So what I'm going to ask you here is so most of us have relationships with the bank, right? And sorry. And have you ever noticed that none of the banks will ever advertise their foreign exchange services on billboards or print ad, or even send you an email, whether it's HDFC, SBI, Kotak, State Bank of India, whichever it may be. The real reason why this happens is because for a bank, foreign exchange is a value added service. So it's almost like customer आया, customer ने rate पूछा तो हमने rate दिया. They don't actively go out and promote these services, which is why, again, we are able to give you a significantly more competitive rate on the dollar or pound or Canadian dollar. I know most of you are going to the US, so the dollar is the most important for you. So, our rates are significantly cheaper than the bank, and which is where the biggest value add and the biggest monetary saving lies. As regards to the processing charges, you will see in the following slides, our processing charges are 500 rupees as compared to the bank's 1500 to 2500 rupees. So I'm going to quickly show you, on the 29th of March, we had taken the rate from HDFC, which was, you can see at the bottom of my screen, for the US dollar was 84.71. Right, guys? Please keep this in mind. It was 84.71. Now, our rate on the same day was 84.10. So as you can see, we are about 60 to 70 paisa cheaper than the bank. Mistake number two, get misled by Flywire, right? This is something that is very, very common. So if you have, gotten misled by Flywire, don't feel embarrassed or frustrated, because the minute you read Flywire, that is when a bell should go off in your mind, an alarm should go off in your mind. Hey, I know that there is a cheaper way to pay through Flywire, so let me get in touch with FRR Forex. The reason why I'm telling you this is because, as you can see on the top of your screen, for $10,000 is the rate that Flywire was giving. This again was on the 29th of March when we made this presentation, was 85.58. At the bottom of the screen, you see our rate post all charges was 84.65. So there again, you see there is almost an 80 paisa difference as to the rate on Flywire as compared through us. Now, mind you, we also make the payment through Flywire, but it's just that the rate that you will pay is the rate that we give you and not what Flywire gives you, right? So whatever we are doing, please keep in mind that whatever we are doing is in line with RBI rules and regulations and guidelines, is absolutely legal, and we are not flouting any RBI rules here or Flywire rules here. We are processing multiple of these payments on a daily basis to Flywire. So, and Flywire completely accepts that as a normal payment method. So it is absolutely okay. So don't get flustered if you see, oh my God, Flywire, what do I do? That is when you need to remember to get in touch with us. That is when a bell should go off in your mind saying that, hey, this is something that I can solve for. Similarly, so Flywire is probably the most popular payment portal that is there amongst US universities. There is another payment portal which is more popular in Canada, but also quite some universities in the US do use this payment portal called Convera. Now, similarly, like Flywire, you will save anywhere between 70 to 90 paisa per US dollar, about 50 to 70 paisa per Canadian dollar. So by chance, if you are going to the US, or if any of your friends are going to Canada, please, please, please tell them that there is an option where they can save money, where you can pay through us, through Convera or through Flywire, and save a significant portion on the exchange rate, right? So guys, I know there are several students here, but so students, please don't forget to inform your parents that when they read Flywire and Convera, that is when they should let us know, and we will take care of their concerns. Mistake, another very, very common mistake is the cumbersome process of banks, right? Today, I'm sure all of us have some relationship or the other with the bank. And I'm sure all of us know what is the hassle, the pain, especially with documentation when you go to a bank, even if it is for the smallest thing. Here, we do collect all the documentation, but all the documentation is submitted to us online, and it is submitted to us only once, right? Unlike with a bank where you might have to keep submitting the documentation over and over again. Ideally, you can sit out of your home or office and complete the entire transaction with us. You don't even need to get out. You're more than welcome to come over to any of our offices where we are located. Set up a time, and you can set up a time and do so. But if you don't feel the need to do that, there is absolutely no reason for you to not be able to transact from home as compared to a bank where you have to go and keep filling forms, etc., etc. We get your KYC done remotely. So, basically, we want to make the process as seamless for you as possible. Now, this is one of the biggest confusions that have been caused by the finance ministry and subsequently by the media on TCS, or tax collected at source. I think, and this is the biggest mistake that banks make in not explaining it appropriately or properly to their customers. So first, let me break down and explain to you what TCS is. TCS, or tax collected at source, has been introduced by the government of India since 1st of October 2020. TCS is applicable on all outward remittances, which means that if you are transferring money overseas for your tuition fees or your living expenses, you will have to pay TCS. How is TCS calculated? Every resident Indian is allowed to transfer funds overseas worth 7 lakhs of rupees. This 7 lakh rupee limit is a per financial year limit and not a per transaction or a per month limit. Guys, mind you, this is per financial year and not per transaction. So let's assume that you need to transfer 10 lakhs of rupees today. And this is your first foreign exchange purchase of the financial year. You will pay TCS on 10 minus 7, which is 10 lakhs of rupees. Suppose you want to transfer 10 lakhs of rupees, you will pay TCS on 10 minus 7, which is 3 lakhs of rupees. The TCS will be levied on the differential amount above 7 lakhs. So, in this case, 3 lakhs. Suppose you come to us again on 1st of July and you want to transfer another 10 lakhs of rupees. At that time, you will pay TCS on the entire 10 lakhs of rupees. The percentage of TCS that you pay will be determined whether you are self-funding your education or you have taken an education loan. So let's assume you are self-funding and you have to pay TCS on 3 lakhs in today's example. So 5% of 3 lakhs is 15,000 rupees. If you have taken an education loan, then you will pay 1,500 rupees, which is 0.5% of 3 lakhs. Now, last year, in the 2023 budget, there was a new TCS structure proposed by the government that came into effect on 1st of October 2023. TCS, however, for education, if it is self-funded, remains at 5%. And if you've taken an education loan, remains at 0.5%. Now, mind you, the TCS applicable applies for both tuition fees and living expenses. Very often, we have had customers who come to us and say, oh, I'm transferring money to my child's account, for his living expenses, but my bank is charging me 20% TCS. Guys, 20% TCS is applicable only for those who are non-students. So parents, suppose your child is living overseas and is working there and is a non-student, and you want to transfer them money, you will have to pay 20% TCS above 7 lakhs. But if your child is studying there, right, you must ensure that even though you are transferring money to your child's account for their living expenses, which includes rent, daily expenses, travel, etc., it is 5% in case of self-funding and 0.5% in case of education loans. TCS is just like TDS. It can be adjusted against the income tax payable by the remitter at the end of the financial year. TCS does show up in the remitter's Form 26AS in the following quarter. So now suppose we do a remittance in April, May, June quarter, the TCS that you have paid will show up in your Form 26AS by the end of August. We do provide you a tax invoice and a TCS certificate so that you can reconcile this with your chartered accountant. Guys, if you have any questions, I request you to please put it in the chat box or in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. If you have any reservations, or doubts about TCS, this is fairly confusing. So you can please most definitely ask these questions. Next, like I mentioned earlier, documentation problems with the bank. In a bank, more often than not, you will have to keep resubmitting all your documents, especially if you are transferring money to your child's account. So we've divided it up. We've divided the documentation into two parts. So the remitter, who is generally the parent, we will require the parent's Aadhaar card and PAN card, both self-attested. We will require the Form A2 to be filled and signed by the parent. The Form A2 is required by RBI for any outward remittance. So whether you do it through us or through a bank, it will be required. And obviously the parent's mobile number and email address. With regards to the student, we will require the student's passport. Now, regardless of whichever country the student is going to, we will require your university acceptance letter and your visa. If you are going to the US, you must additionally provide us your I-20. If you are going to Canada, you must give us your study permit. And if you're going to the UK, you must give us your residency permit or anywhere else in Europe. If you are transferring money to the child's account, you must give us the student bank details. And if your university is accepting money directly into the university account, you can give us the university bank account details as well. With regards to the Flywire and Convera payment instructions, I've already explained that to you. Now, suppose you have taken an education loan in India, you must provide us the loan disbursement letter if you want to avail the 0.5% benefit. The sanction letter alone will not do. You must provide us the loan disbursement letter. Also, guys, one more very important thing to note here is that you can only get the 0.5% benefit if you have taken an education loan. You cannot get the 0.5% benefit if you've taken a personal loan or a loan against gold or any of that. It has to be a pure education loan. Like I mentioned, it is one-time documentation, so you don't need to keep submitting most of these documents every single time. Coming to the remittance process, sorry, which unfortunately we could not cover in the video. Ideally, you must get in touch with us 2 or 3 days in advance. We will send you an email. Clinton will send you an email with all the documents that we require. You must submit all the documents to us online and we will get your KYC done. The day you'd like to transfer, We will send you, the Excel sheet that you saw on the Flywire and Convera slide. We will send you that Excel sheet, which has all the charges, taxes, etc. So you see what you are paying for. There are no hidden charges. You must transfer the funds to us by 2 p.m. in order for the remittance to be processed the same day. Lastly, the following day, we will give you what we call as a SWIFT copy, which is the confirmation that the funds have been transferred from our end. Now, there are a couple of additional ways to finance your overseas education. Education loans being probably the second most popular way to finance your education. And you can take a loan, education loan from Indian lenders as well as US based lenders. So I think for the most part, um, for this audience, um, the secured loan product is the only thing that can be offered, because I believe everyone here would be going for their undergraduate education. So as you might know, Indian lenders do not provide unsecured loans to those who are going abroad for their undergraduate education. So they provide only secured loan, which means a collateral is required. In this case, since the amounts can be a little large, the only collateral that lenders accept is property, either residential or commercial. If it is residential property, you can get about up to 85% of the property value as the loan sanction amount. And if it's a commercial property, it is about 60 to 65%. The interest rate that is charged is 8 to 10%, and the repayment period is 10 years. If you want to foreclose your loan, you may do so, but now there is a minimum period of 2 years for which you cannot foreclose your loan. There are tax benefits to the remitter under the Section 80E. So I'm not covering the unsecured loan part because that is only for graduate students. The other interesting product that we do have is education loans in the US. The first and the most important thing for this is you must have a co-signer who is a US citizen or a green card holder. Unfortunately, we do not help in arranging for co-signers, but this is something that you would have to arrange for. The interest rates depend on your co-signer's credit score, which means interest rates can be as low as 5% if your co-signer's credit score is good. The amount availed can be the entire amount on the student's I-20, which means you can avail for an amount for the student's tuition fees as well as the living expenses. The repayment period is a minimum of 5 to 7 years. And then there are also options for 10 to 15 years. Like the Indian education loan, there are no prepayment charges if you wish to foreclose your loan earlier. Now, there are 4 advantages of taking an education loan in the US. The first and the most important advantage is that you don't have to give a collateral like a property or anything. Your collateral is your cosigner, right? The second thing is every academic year is a new loan. So you don't have to file a loan application for all the 5 years or all the 4 years, right? You can literally choose if you want to take the loan or not in the subsequent years. If you have multiple relatives or friends, you may choose to change your cosigner as well. And lastly, unlike the Indian loan, you are not subject to one interest rate. You can take advantage of lower interest rates in the subsequent years. So these are some of the salient features of availing an education loan in the US as well. Another just a service that we have added to our basket is we have tied up with One Vasco, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of VFS Global, where they can help you in filling the application form for your visa, document review and all your compliance checks and ensure that everything is in order. If you need to, for those of you who might be going to Canada to study, You might have to draft personal statements. This is something else that they can help you with. They will help you in uploading all the documents and uploading your application form. And the last thing is they also help you with your biometrics and appointment booking. So if you are interested in availing this, the reason why we have tied up with VFS is because there are travel agents who may do this, but several parents have come to us and said that they are not happy with the travel agents. And VFS, as you may all know, is a global brand and pioneers in the visa space. So, that is why, with such strong credibility, we have tied up with them. You can get in touch with us. We will put you in touch with them. If you go through us, you will get a discounted rate of $330 for your visa processing as compared to $360 that is on their website. The other services, like Devish mentioned earlier, we can help you with currency and Forex cards. You may need a certain amount of money to spend while you are while you go to the US or any other or your country of study, where you may not have a bank account set up. So you may need $500 or $1,000 for your initial setup when you go there to study. So that is also something that we can help you with. Just to give you a brief on our track record, we've transacted more than $100 million in the past 4 years. We've serviced a little over 2,500 students, and we've saved more than 5.5 crore of rupees for all our students and parents. This is a great chance for you to refer and earn as you help us grow our community. So if you have friends who are in high school or any of your college mates who would like to transfer their fees through us, you can put them in touch with us. You can put them in touch with Clinton, and he will be happy to serve them as well. We give, for every successful referral, we give a 1,500 rupee Amazon voucher. And I think last year, one of the Next Genius students picked up, I think, 3 or 4 vouchers because he referred 3 or 4 students. So guys, that's a good 5,000-6,000 rupees that you might want to get as additional pocket money. I'm going to quickly show you a testimonial of one of the Next Genius Foundation parents who regularly transacts with us for his son's fees.
Hi, my name is Jacob. My son is a Next Genius scholar who is pursuing his bachelor's in the United States. I came to know about FRR Forex through one of the Next Genius webinars. And later on, I got in touch with Dave at FRR Forex and inquired about how to send money to US. Also, I tried my own bank and compared it with FRR Forex, and I found FRR Forex to be better for me. And since then, I have been using their services to send money to US. Thank you to them. They're a wonderful team, and good luck going forward.
So that's one of our parents. I think his son goes to Dickinson College, one of the students from last year. So, a few happy customers from the Next Genius Foundation as well. Here are our contact details, mine and Clinton's. Ideally, Clinton should be your first point of contact. You can get in touch with us on WhatsApp, email, you can directly call us as well, whatever suits you and whatever you are more comfortable with. You can reach me also, but Clinton is well trained. He's been working with us for some time now, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed with his service. We are based in Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. So if you want to meet us in any of these locations, more than welcome to come over to our office, or we can even meet at a convenient location. We are very active on social media, which is Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We post a lot of offers on our Instagram pages, especially in the months of July, August, and September. So you may want to follow us and avail some of these offers as well. So that's it for me. I'm going to leave this screen on so you can take down our details. But I would now like to open the floor to questions if you may have. We are quite a small forum here, so If you guys want to unmute yourselves and ask questions, that's also absolutely fine.
Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing all the information. And I myself learned a lot of new interesting things through this. So thank you so much for all the work that you do to support the next genius students and scholars.